Shall we talk all things royal with royal correspondent and writer Michael Cole? And a very good morning to you, Michael.
Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Stephen. It's a wonderful thing to see how well Her Majesty Queen Camilla is doing. Remember, she's 76. She was never trained or prepared for this role, and yet she's taken to it rather like an elegant swan alighting on the River Avon at Bath. And that's where those last pictures were taken with those volunteers. I was on the evening paper there many, many years ago, so I was glad to see her going back. Now, I don't know whether housewives in Chippenham actually ever threw bread bowls at her in the supermarket in Chippenham, but there's no doubt she was the most vilified woman in this country when she was the third person in the marriage of Diana and Charles. And that's how far we've come. I mean, I covered the wedding of Charles and Camilla in 2005, and believe me, Buckingham Palace were expecting eggs to be thrown and tomatoes to be thrown. There we see her in Bath again, going around to meeting the people, and they're all pleased to see her. And, you know, they actually locked the doors of the register office because they felt that somebody might object to the wedding. And there were constitutional experts saying it wasn't even legal for them to contract a civil wedding, for the heir to the throne to contract a civil wedding. And the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, of course, pointedly did not attend. So that's how far we've come. 19 years in April they will have been married, and she's absolutely integral to the King's reign. And she's doing a terrific job. Unusually, she went with him to the hospital. That's not the usual royal way. And she visited several times and maintained connections with the press, telling how he was getting on. That was all a very, very, very good thing. And quite clearly, he's essential. She's essential to him, and the success of the reign depends very largely upon her.
I loved it when her sister gave an interview on television just recently, and she said, you know, Camilla's doing really well. I just cannot quite stomach curtsying to her. And I just thought that was such a sign that, you know, just an ordinary family. In fact, me and my sisters discussed it, whether, you know, one of us would ever dream of curtsying to the other if circumstances were different. And we wouldn't. It was rather charming.
I think Princess Margaret had trouble curtsying to the Queen, saying, oh, she's tired, she's been reigning all day long, you know, sort of this sort of thing. But that will go on in families. But she has done fantastically well. And with a lovely common touch. You know, she could walk among the people, and looking at the visit to Bath, everybody there was looking at her. Everybody was smiling, and it's not a role that she ever asked for or ever expected. So I think applause all round, and, you know, she's a jolly good thing. But Anne, do you know what she is really? And I can say this because I'm 4 years older than her. She's of the generation where they just got on with it. Whatever came their way, that was their duty. She's from that sort of family. Just get on with it.
I'll tell you what we noticed earlier on with the clips in our report there, is the fact that we're properly eavesdropping on a conversation that we can hear. With the Queen Elizabeth, it was obviously you heard little bits of what she said, but it was all very sort of distant. I mean, she's got a voice which is being heard, and she's having a proper chit-chat, and that actually is slightly different from what we're used to.
Absolutely, but didn't you think, Stephen, that she really wanted to get in that chorus line that was going behind the dancers there? You could see, and I think her affection, interest in Strictly Come Dancing is absolutely genuine. And why not? She likes to have a drink, as you say. She likes to have a sneaky fag every now and then, and she lives her life as best she can, maintaining all the contacts with her own family, but being very much an integral part of the royal family. More important now than ever, when the King is slightly hors de combat at the moment.
Well, yes, absolutely. Both she and Princess Anne are the most senior royals on duty at the moment, are they not?
Absolutely. I mean, a combined age of what, let's say in the paper, 149 or something, and they're out there doing the thing in the right way. You know, I just wish she joined in this dance troupe, though. I think that would have been great. Couldn't they have found some ruby slippers, you know, like straight out of The Wizard of Oz for her? Those looked a little bit plain, didn't you think?
Well, a little bit. I suppose they were what you would call nude, I think, so they go with anything.
Yes.
You would know about this.
It's what I'm told. It's what I'm told by Anne. Michael, good to see you. Thanks very much indeed. Yes, they go with anything, don't they, those sort of
The
shoes?
nudies, yes, they are. But tap shoes are brilliant. I've got a pair of tap shoes, which I bought for lockdown because I was going to seriously take up tap.
And did you?
No. I joined up for a series of lessons, never did even one. But it's nice walking in them. Tap shoes are very comfortable. And I've got wooden floors, and you go... It's lovely. Just walking in them is fab. I'd love to do a bit of tap. It's meant to be very, very good.
Is it?
Exercise, very good aerobic exercise.
I suppose it probably is.
I might still take it up.
Next to Lionel Blair.